Well, they'll be calling you a radical, so I just got a call talk to me about moon cycles, because we're on a full moon. I'm usually low tide, but we're going to get a really incredible moon eclipse here tomorrow night, a full one here in Snow, Utah. But the tides are not going to be that low. Next cycle, which will be early December, and I already got my plane tickets, and I'm headed to SoCal, and super low. I mean, God, even the early tide charts are showing -2, and which is unheard of on a tide chart. They'll go -2, but the tide chart will usually show -4 or 5, and then a flow. But a winter time -2, unless something crazy happens. In that first week, we could get the lowest tides in maybe decades. I mean, I've been on some incredible low tides. So I'll get the PB Point, I'll get the Point Loma, I'll get the La Jolla good tide pools handled, and we could do some comparative. They've been completely naked. And so, got to stay on this. So, Monterey, they're even showing -1, 3, and 4. So, Oregon, anybody who's got a chance to get out, it'd be a super great time. They're going to really start to get really low about December 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and super, super low. So I'll be in Southern California all week down there. So salmon counts, Martin got on me today, and I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm so busy with so much. But so let's review the final numbers. The Stillhead number ended up on the Bonneville at 71,000. Now remember, this is absolutely no gill netting, zero gill netting. Very, very, very little fishing in front of the dam. Well, a little fishing, but we need to be in front of the dam where the count is. They come up 71,000. Now remember, this is by number, not by volume. Because then we know by volume that they're down over half in 1 decade. So what were they, the year before this catastrophe? Well, with gill netting, this has been verified by ODFW with me, and I've worked with ODFW off this, the number of takeout in front of the dam and with the count on the dam. So that number was 826,000. So we go from 826,000. Now remember, this is the smoking gun of Fukushima, because it collapsed immediately. Now, you can measure for radiation. How are you going to measure this with a Geiger counter? You're not. Because the Geiger counter is not going to read what this is. Geiger counter can't even figure out what the hell this is. These are 3 fucking suns because it's never happened before. It's totally something new, which I named Fuktonium. Bringing star power to Earth. Do you know what's on that sun? No. You can hypothesize, but that's what it is. So, which I call Fuktonium. But this is the smoking gun of Fukushima, because the Stillhead, just like Kevin Blanche said, started to collapse on cue. So we can do math. We go from 826,000 to 71,000. Come on. Third grade math, we know that's over 90% collapse. Now, that's the best number of them all. The Fraser, the freaking, Tim Martin has worked the shit out of this on the lower, the Southern Oregon. Oh, my God. You're talking, they're down 99% on the Deschutes, on the Rogue. It's the Jedediah Smith is down 99%. There's no dams there. So the smoking gun, why is that the smoking gun? Because in symphony with the Chinook counts. Now Chinook go to sea for 5 years. Now remember, Stillhead go 1. They can make 2 trips. The first one back, they call them half-pounders. So stay with me. So the Chinook go to sea for 5 years. Everybody's laughing at Kevin Blanch. He's fucking crazy. He's fucking loony. They couldn't just wait to say, I told you were wrong. Whoops. He wasn't wrong. I'm like, record return. I says, yeah, you're going to get major record returns. The ocean was in fucking good condition. So, this whole climate change thing, it's acute, radical climate. This work proves it's not. So in 2016, they kept climbing and climbing and climbing in 2015 to the point that we had 2.7 million returning Chinook salmon, and they were big old beasts. We had a live cam to look at them on the Bonneville, our Army Corps Engineers live cam. They were doing videos all over trying to debunk Kevin Blanch. Look, record numbers. I'm like, yeah, okay, fuck you. Wait till 2016. And then will you fucking agree? Yeah. If they collapse in 2016, you're no doubt you're going to be right. This is NOAA. This is Army Corps Engineers. This is ODFW. This is WW. This is fucking fish cops up and down the fucking coast. So NOAA, ODFW, WFW, they're a clown circus. But University of Washington, Oregon State's biology department, they do modeling. But the NOAA modeling is the good modeling. And their modeling is they have buoys out in the ocean and they use very sophisticated modeling, and they've had lots of years to plug in the data, and they've got the models down to a fine science. So their models were incredibly, incredibly accurate. Unbelievably accurate, actually, because I was watching them. In 2012, 13, 14, 15, their fucking models were dead on. I mean, dead on. Unbelievably on. So their model was set in 2015, their model in front of the dam was 2.7 million. After the fish takeout, they had it projected at 1.4 million. They were fucking dead on. 2015, that was 2015's count. So we were 2.7 million in 2015. Big. Average fucking weight, I think the average weight, we were sitting almost 15, 16 pounds. So then I'm like, well, will you believe in 2016? Their model was set in 2016 before the takeout was set well over 3 million. After the takeout, their model was clear at 2.1 million. So their modeling was as high as 4.1 million in front of the takeout. I set my model at 680,000. They were laughing at me. And then, boom, they come in at 680,000. They're like, what the fuck? Our models are never wrong. What the hell? We're off by that far? In science, we call that an outliner. So, what's his look? 2017, their models before takeout, gill netting is takeout. The tribes, the commercial fishing, they have negotiated contracts over, the last century. And by law, between the two of them, they can take out half. And they do. Gill nets don't lie. They get them all. So they're set their models. Again, we're well over 4 million before takeout. After takeout, they were still at 2.1, 2.4, 2.7 million range. They actually, NOAA's good model was at 2.7 million. I set my model at 480,000. It came in exactly, I missed it by 3,000 fish. They're like, holy fuck, this guy is unbelievable. This has got to be the luckiest fucking thing I ever seen. Once his luck, twice his skill. Their models were in the 4 millions. Mine was at 480,000, and I was dead on. 2 years in a row. Okay, let's go to 2018. I set my model at 333,000. They set their model again at fucking 4 million before takeout. After takeout, they were in the 2.4 fucking 5 fucking million range. They were starting to try to adjust and figure out what the fuck. They came in at 336,000. They're like, oh my God. Once his luck, twice his skill, 3 times his recorded history. I'm like, you believe me now? So, 2019, I set my number at 220. I originally said at 280,000. I lowered to 220,000. They started coming out of denial. This is, we're at, so this is 2016. I'm dead on. 2017, 2018. Now remember, they go to sea for 5 years. Now remember, in 2015, before fucking takeout, we're at 2.7 million. Average fucking Chinook salmon, right around 14 pounds in that range. So I'm dead on fucking 2016, 2017, 2018. They're off by fucking 75. Their models, when a model shows up off that line, now we run regression. We use computerized models. And the regression will show that as deviating from the mean. And when it goes that far deviating from the mean, that's called in science, that's called an outliner. Now you have to have the data. Before at first it was kept alive, it's a hypothesis. They're going to lie, they're going to lie, they're going to lie. These are fucking full-blown meltdowns. And they're going to push it into the ocean, and it's going to genocide the Pacific Ocean. That's hypothesis. But then we have the data. So we had 2016, 2017, 2018. We'd go from respectively, Kevin Blanchard's number has been dead on every single year. So we get to, again, 2016, 2017, 2018. They're crashing. My model was set at 680,000. They come in at 680,000. My model was set at 480,000. They come in at 480,000. My model was set at 333,000. They come in at 336,000. So their models were set in the 4 million range. So 2019, I set my model at 280,000. Then I lowered to 220,000. Their models was after takeout. They started to lower slightly. Was in the 3.2, 3.3 before takeout. After takeout, they're down in the 1.1 million range. Then that's when they started coming out of denial. It was Tim Martin and I's work. We were going to them, then they're finally starting to admit, well, there's something happening on the sea. It's not dams. They're starting to fucking freak out. Still won't use the F word. So they said no gill netting. 0 gill nettings. They had started a little bit of gill netting. They pulled the gill net, so I had to immediately adjust my number, double it. So I did. I doubled my fucking number, from the 220 to 440. I came in right on the number again. Dead on 4 years in a row. Their number was off by 80% again. 2020 comes along. Same thing. I had my number down to 220, but no gill netting. So I set my number up around fucking 490,000. They came in at 530,000. Their number, they started to come out of denial, and their models started to fucking, adjust themselves. And their models started to come down, and, after takeout, their model, they got real and got down to in the 1.1 million range, and they're, before takeout, they got to about the 2.2. They're still off fucking 60, 70, 80%. I'm dead on. So this year, I set my model 2021 again at 480,000 because I knew there was no gill netting, so I didn't have to make an adjustment. I knew there was no gill netting. There's been no fucking gill netting. They allowed them to gill net, I think, for fucking something like 8 days. Less than that. So I set my model at 480,000. They had their model. They've come out of denial, and they fucking lowered their model clear down to 980,000. Came in at 491,000. The year's over 490,000. So we can do math. So again, this is important historic fucking videos. Back it up. This is the best number too. The Fraser in Canada. Well, you can go up to the Kenine. We can go on all these fucking numbers. We can work them. The Deschutes, the Jedediah Smith, the fucking Rogue. This is the best number. The 1.5 mile long, incredible beast, the Columbia River with 400 tributaries. Army Corps Engineers, by the way, the Army Corps Engineers, which classified Kevin Blanch, that's an unarguable fact now. It's still the live cam, still out on the Bonneville. Remember, I used to call them all the time, say, I'll send you up a GoPro. I found one on eBay for $40. Still out to this. Doesn't that alarm you? So from what the data I gather, because they won't talk on weight, but Tim Martin and I has worked together. We used to have the Blanch Martin matrix on how much we were spending a fish. Remember, we had 200,000. Then we were clear up over 1 million. Fuck, we're several million a fish now. So the weight from our calculations, and I think we're pretty accurate. The average weight on these fish are clear down under fucking 9 pounds. These fish, average fish weight are fucking 8 pounds. Martin says he thinks it's 7. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and go 8, 8.5, down from, 13, 14. So the volume is not only down 4, 5, 6%, it's down 99%. Anchovies and sardines. My tide pool work also in symphony. Now again, how are you going to measure fucking gamma fucking radiation is a big broad term. Your radiant heat, they radiate. It's just a big term. To quantify what this is, your fucking Geiger count has to be calculated into the curium, the Curies, the radioisotope, whatever measurement you're going to use. You don't even know what the fuck this is because it's never happened before. So again, the Chinook were Record numbers up to 2015, they go to sea for 5 years. Still had one. Now remember, let's start again. Still had 826,000 to 71,000 in 10 years. They go to sea 1 year. They started to, immediately, just like the starfish, started to collapse immediately in 2011. And I never used the word extinction, did I? I used genocide. Chinook go to sea for 5 years. Record numbers till 2016. 2015, the number was millions. I mean, 3 million. After takeout, it was 1.4 million, almost 1.5. Before takeout, it was 3 million. We go from 3 million to 491,000. From 3 million to, we can do math. I mean, come on, kids. So we're 85%. That's on the Columbia. That's by volume. Cut that number again in half. We're down 95%. Just like all the other creatures in the Pacific. This is the greatest event in human fucking history. So the full moon cycle. You know, I just can record this in history now because but the internet completely changed. They changed everything in 2018, right when I reported. It changed right when I reported that fucking nuclear accident happened on the SMR on the China reactor, which is an arguable proof, and you haven't heard of fucking people on it from nobody. There's, and February 2018, everything is just unwound. That's when they changed the internet. I'm the guy that termed the term internet kettling, and that's exactly what it is. Internet kettling, but they're even kettling my language now. So it's the smoking gun of Fukushima, so we can run regressionary models because we have 10 years worth of data now. Any scientist, any fucking student can do it. Statistical probability fucking 101. Anybody can do it now. You can go to the fucking Bonneville fucking fish count numbers. There's the data right there, and you can plug it into a computer model. And you can run a regressionary model, and fucking smoke will come out of that model. It'll deviate from the means by fucking hundreds of times. We call those outliners, and the computer will show you the outliner is 2011. And it will show you that something radical, crazy changed in the fucking ocean because they're dynasty in 2011. So then, as a scientist, we have to start to search what radically changed in 2011. We have to identify the outliner. Did a meteor hit Earth? That's a tough one. How about, did we have 3 full blown out core meltdowns with 6 spent fuel pools, 7 counting the common fuel pool, fucking MOX fuel with fucking hundreds, millions of fucking pounds of spent fuel, fucking MOX fuel by the hundreds of thousands of tons, blown up and pushed into the Pacific Ocean? Do we not have 3 cores that are in the Pacific Ocean that are burrowed in? I mean, just like the Japanese trench that went to the peninsula in Russia when everything washed up fucking dead. Nothing. I told you you wouldn't hear anything. As soon as Greenpeace ruled out the oil, they ruled out all the usual suspects. And I said, when they find out it's Fukushima, when it's nuclear, they won't say a word. Because if this hasn't taught you that the nuclear imperialists, the Illuminati, they radiate, they own the fucking world. The nuclear energy industry owns the world. They'll cover up. I mean, not one senator has mentioned the word Fukushima. Nobody will. Climate fucking COP. Not one word mention of Fukushima. Not one word. The greatest. So you're telling me Chernobyl, all bad, one partial meltdown. Everybody knows the word Chernobyl, but you can't use the word Fukushima. So you're telling me that there's no byproduct. For every action, there's a reaction. So you're telling me, every scientist, every fucking biologist, every media outsource, everybody, every YouTube vlogger, all these people, everybody, you're telling me there is no fucking reaction for probably the greatest action in human history. 3 full blown out core meltdowns and MOX fuel blown all the fucking out. There's no reaction for that. That's the most insane fucking philosophy in history. It's a mental illness. It's insane. For every action, there is a reaction. That is basic, fundamental physics, logic, science, philosophy, period. It is the concrete bedrock of fucking any science. So there's no reaction from this action. Okay. Okay. That's insanity. The nuclear energy emperor, it has no, they haven't. I would like to introduce at COP the man who's responsible for trying to saving the earth more than anyone, this young woman. Your Royal Highness Prince Charles. What? Then, he's the keynote speaker. Barry Antoinette Obama, who covered up Fukushima. How about, no, you don't tell me Jeff fucking Bezos spoke there. No, the next thing you're going to tell me is fucking Bill Gates. These are not political figures. These are not elected officials. These are not dignitaries. Oh my God. Set it up, Greta. So there's your data. So it's unarguable fucking work. We go from fucking 3 million on the Columbia at average weight of around 14 pounds to 491,000 in 5 years. They go see. Average weight of probably around 8 pounds. By volume, you're talking a 96, 97% collapse. By number, you're talking a fucking 80% collapse. And that's the healthiest one of them all. The Rogue, the Willamette, the Rogue, the Deschutes, the Jedediah Smith, the Fraser, they're down 97, 98, some of them 99. And Steelhead are much worse. The Steelhead number, again, we go from 826,000 on the Columbia to 71,000, down 93%. By weight, they're down 99%. And Tim Martin says, I think the Rogue has 27. Remember, they forecasted something like fucking 27,000. No, not 2,700. I said 27. Fraser's even worse. So there's your numbers. So Kevin Blanche is incredible historic PhD. It is what it is. It's the greatest PhD in human history. Period. You can fucking talk shit all you want. It's been tiring. It's been, I always thought, I used to tell people, will you believe me when it happens? You know, and I thought that there'd be some benefit to this work to help me out. But I guess, it's never been about me. But, you know, a decade of living impoverished. You know, well, I've been fighting leukemia this decade. As you know, I was given 2 months to live 10 years. 10 years ago today, tonight, I was slipping in and out of a coma 10 years ago right now. In the East 8 bone marrow transplant unit. What a story. What a path, huh? So the super, super low tide, the lowest we'll have in years, will be early December. Bobby Blanche, world record holder. Gold medalist. I have my gold medal. I'll have it on. Dead tide pull jumper. I'll be at it. So there's your numbers, and these are important videos, and you know, you can all flee from me. You know, I'll be the Semmelweis of our year. I'll be the Tesla of our year. Well, you know, Semmelweis, that's the good metaphor. Germ theory. Beat him up and kill him, throw him in a jail cell. Stand tuned.